Trump leads Biden in 6 of 7 swing states. New polling shows President Joe Biden trails former President Donald Trump in 6 out of 7 battleground states, with Trump leading in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, North Carolina, Nevada, and Pennsylvania, according to recent polling from Wall Street Journal. Biden's biggest deficit in North Carolina, a state Trump narrowly won in 2020, while only 28% of the swing voters believe Biden, age 81, has better physical chance and mental fitness to handle the White House, despite both candidates. Both candidates high unfavorability ratings in the presence of third-party candidates. RFK, who is polling whether 7 and 15% across the 7 battlegrounds. Pollsters believe these voters could swing towards either Trump or Biden, with Kennedy drawing more support from potential Trump voters. Adam.
Well, this should be very alarming for the Biden campaign. Because, look, when we talked about the election in 2020, we did a lot of national polls, what's going on. And there was a lot of don't believe the polls, don't believe the polls. But when you start looking at swing states, you better start getting very cautious for the Biden administration. Arizona, what is it? He's up what? Can we get a better graph here? Up 5. Georgia, up 1. Michigan, up 3. North Carolina, up 6. Holy shit. Nevada, 1. Pennsylvania. So I guess if I'm the Biden administration, I'm looking at this and saying, look, a few of the states are within the margin of error. But if you lose a couple of these dominoes, especially the blue wall, what do they call it, Tom? The blue wall up there?
Pennsylvania,
Wisconsin, Michigan. Boom, you're done. So what we don't know is Biden's floor and ceiling. We kind of know that Trump is locked in the low 40s. We know that. And then what we don't know is the X factor this time, which is RFK. There hasn't been a viable third-party candidate since Ross Perot in 1992. Who took, 20% of the vote? RFK's coming. He's getting out there. He's a very credible candidate. I don't know if he's going to pull from Trump. I don't know if he's going to pull from Biden. I know that Trump's out there basically saying that he's the most whack job, liberal, leftist, progressive. I don't think so. I think he's pretty common sense. I think RFK is the person who's going to spoil the election for Trump or for Biden. And if I'm the Biden administration, I'm super skeptical of having Kennedy in the race.
I don't know. What time are you going to go? You can go ahead.
So what's very interesting here, Arizona, right now, Trump's every poll that comes out, these are just facts. Words talk, numbers scream. The polls keep moving up with Trump in Arizona, along with Kari Lake is now extending her lead incrementally. These are very tight races. A lot could happen between now and November, but it's moving. Georgia, outside of Atlanta, people are polling with voter sentiments are up at 7, 8s, and 9s on asking, was it unfair what the state of Georgia did with Trump? You know, what Fannie did. And it's yes. And so, and North Carolina, check this out. This right now at 28 points, Biden is down 16 points from where he was in the election in North Carolina. So North Carolina, Arizona, and Georgia, if those stay with Trump, Biden has to win all of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Because if he loses even one of those, and the likely one there is it's Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan in that order, with central Pennsylvania getting redder and redder. And so it's no wonder they're shocked. It's no wonder that they're freaking out. And what's also interesting is I saw an analysis that said that the 15% polling for Kennedy is probably 8 to 9% in the polling place. In other words, the polling that the third party gets is usually at this point, but they usually bring home about 60% of it, because once they get to go vote, there's a certain percent of those that thought it was a good idea, but then say, maybe I don't waste my vote, and it pulls back. But for Kennedy to be polling 12 to 15, that means he's probably going to take, 8 to 11 of that, which would be in line with Ross Perot. And if Trump takes Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina.
But let's not. I don't know. But, and again, I'm not a big
long time to go. Long way to go.
Polls, everything with polls and Hillary and everybody. But I don't know if you guys noticed this or not. I did a little bit of research. I was on X and I did my own digging that the number of voters registering without a photo ID has skyrocketed in 3 key swing states: Arizona, Texas, and Pennsylvania. Since the start of 2024, Texas, 1.25 million are registering, no photo ID, no nothing, just their social security number. In Pennsylvania, 580,000, Arizona, 220,000. The HAVA, Help America Vote Verification System, which coincides with HAVA, Have America Vote Again Act, allows voters to register with a social security number, 4 digits. That's it. Guys, these are all these people. Remember this open border. Remember that open border. Remember this tactic that I was telling everybody. It doesn't allow illegals to get licenses, but they can get social security cards for work authorization permits. And Tom, you talked about this a couple weeks ago about the Democrats. It was something along the playbook that they're using for Texas. Because you remember, California used to be a red state, correct? Republicans won 8 out of 9 presidential elections during the mid-'90s.
Reagan carried it.
Exactly, exactly. LA itself, the GOP won 6 out of 10 presidential elections. Then something changed, and you nailed it. In '86, Reagan cut a deal with the Dems and granted amnesty to millions and millions of illegals, and the majority of them residing in California. And then what happened? He get them the right to vote. And since then, the GOP has not won one single presidential election in California. If Texas, which has 40 electoral votes, goes away, California, the GOP will cease to exist. And that's the chart right there. So everybody that was asking about all these, where illegals and what are they doing? Guys, they're flying them into these places, and those are the most important places. And Pat, you said this on the town hall, 16 out of 50 states, no ID required to vote. 16 out of 12 out of the 532 electoral votes. 11 out of 50 states do not require a photo ID. 23 states are the only ones that need an ID. This is a playbook to the T. Hats off to the Democrats. This is their tactic to win. This is it.
PVD, let me give you some data. You're a big data guy. And one of the things that I think we should talk about is now there's a sample size for both. You know, it was easy to say when Trump was first elected, the stock market's going to tank. Well, it actually did well. He's going to create a nuclear war. No, there was actually no wars. You know, Biden gets in. He's stable. He's mental. He's a nice guy. Well, we sort of have the proof is in the pudding. So pull up some of these charts. 72% of Americans, so if you look on the left, say that Biden is not mentally or physically fit to be the president. This was the narrative about why he was elected in 2020. Look, I don't care what you say. In 2020, a freaking ham sandwich could have beaten Donald Trump. The country was completely over him. They were just the rhetoric, the divisiveness, they were over it. But now that they've seen Biden, there's a lot of people, especially the movable middle, that are like, yeah, I'll take the mean tweets again, bro. But turns out, in these swing states, dude, Biden's polling as far as being physically and mentally ready to be the president in the 20s. Trump's at least in the 40s, high 40s in many states. Secondly, the top issues. If you go to the next one, Rob, Trump's crushing it on every single topic except for the one topic we talked about,
the border.
Women's stuff.
Oh, the women's stuff, my bad.
Economy, he's up 20%. Immigration, he's up 20%. Mental and physical health, okay, up 20%. This is going to come down to women, is the abortion stuff. We saw what happened in the midterms. Last point, if you go to the last thing. Look at the coalition. You know, they talk about building a Big Tent party. The politics is about addition, not subtraction. Who can you add? Who can you add? Get the blacks, get the women, get the Hispanics, get the young people, get them all in here. Dude, he's trending the wrong way. In 2020, 91% of blacks were going to vote for Biden, did vote for him. 68%. Stephen A. Smith's world right there. Hispanics, oye como va, 63% in 2020. Now, less than half. And then the young people, who was basically the Biden's base, dude, he can't even pull 50% at this point.
Are you saying it's a done deal?
I'm just saying the numbers are trending the wrong freaking way. So get ready for two things.
You wouldn't do $1,000 bet today that Biden is going to win?
Hell no.
Okay.
I'll take the odds.
I think you were onto something. You didn't even realize what you were onto.
I'm onto it, baby.
No. When you were saying they're sticking with Biden, they're going with Biden. You're seeing these numbers. They're still sticking with Biden. They're ratting with Biden because of what I just told you. He's comfortable and he knows, Adam, those major swing states are all going to go. He's comfortable and they're backing him. They're not announcing anybody else. It's going to be him. You know why? Because the fix is in. All those illegals that have been coming all over the country, and I'm pretty sure people in the chat are like, you're delusional. I just read one. Guess what? I'm not delusional. They're voting without any ID. All they need is social security numbers. They're too calm with those numbers, Adam. It should be abandoned ship, panic mode.
I hear
They're
you.
not going to
I
change.
hear you, and it's a legitimate concern. But those are on the individual states. That's not on the national electorate. That's on each of those states that have protections in place.
No, but this is
which I would hope in America that they have those. But that's on each.
But
state.
Adam, when you see that 16 out of 50 states, you don't need a photo on your ID. That's the system.
Okay,